with hope in your heart. What's going on, Jeromes? It's a beautiful Thursday. Happy Thirsty Thursday out there to those who celebrate. Birds are chirping and stuff. Actually, I don't know. It's kind of cloudy here in the great state of Minnesota. But we got 5 good questions. Vikings Q&A. Let's fire this thing up. And so I feel like she knows when the camera's on because she doesn't really walk across the desk when I'm not filming. Superstar. Actually, she's kind of a diva because she asked for a raise. So we got like the, I don't know why this is. Like, I swear to God, the cat eats better than me because they got like the cat food that you have to have in the refrigerator. I mean, come on. Anyways, Sniper Gaming. How well do you think new Vikings bridge quarterback Sam Darnold, slinging savior Sam Darnold, will perform in our offense considering all our weapons? Well, it's obviously the best cast that Darnold's ever had as a starter. Remember, he was a backup at San Francisco last year, started in Carolina, whatever. I mean, his best receiver, throughout his career was probably Chosen Anderson with the Jets and then eventually with the Panthers. But Darnold came in pretty hyped at number 3 overall pick. He's got a big-time arm, had big-time potential coming out of USC, but just hadn't put it together. And something that's low-key is that he was able to get a year of coaching from Shanahan and company with the Niners last year, backing up Brock Purdy. I think that will significantly help him. So I know that people like to make jokes about Darnold, and I'm sure we've made jokes about Darnold in the years past too, but I actually think that this could work. Really, really do. And this is beyond, purple colored glasses, but just look at the weapons. With JJ and Addison and Hawkinson eventually. You got Darrisaw and O'Neal. You got a running game now with Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler. You got Kevin O'Connell. And I think that, Darnold, he's got the upside there. The problem with Darnold is inconsistency, as well as he will definitely try and force things, and he'll serve up a meatball or two. But if he can reduce those things with that defense with Flores is putting together, baby could have a stew going. That being said, if the rookie looks good, start the rookie. That's all. Next. Traveler. I really like what Kwesi is doing, getting rid of old bad contracts, not willing to overspend. It'll be nice to have clean books next year and go ham in free agency. Yeah, that's something that people haven't realized because the Vikings were underwater in the salary cap last offseason. The Vikings came into this offseason with around like $30 million in cap space, and they've had money to make moves that they wanted, adding Grenard, adding Cashman, adding Van Ginkel, etc., adding Aaron Jones. And I like what Kwesi has done with some of the Spielman veterans, where it's like, hey, you have some utility, but we're not going to overpay you, so either take it or leave it. And a lot of times it's leave it, except for Harrison, it's take it. 2 off seasons in a row. And this is his team now. This is his and Kevin O'Connell's team, and I'm frankly pretty pumped because this year, people make a lot about it's been a competitive rebuild. If Kirk didn't get hurt last year, I think the Vikings win the division. And yeah, Kirk is gone now, but the Vikings were not going to be extorted by Kirk Cousins like Kirko did to Spielman for so many years. And hey, again, we've been very consistent with this all off season, where we respect the stance that Kwesi took with Kirk Cousins 2 off seasons in a row. 1-year deal, year to year, nothing guaranteed beyond that. We want to hedge and make sure that you don't have an age-related fall off. But if you can get more in free agency, God bless you. Hats off to you. And he certainly did with Falcons. Now, I know a lot of people are coming back. Well, Kirk would have signed for less on a multi-year deal. That seems very convenient. That seems very convenient revisionist history, where it's something that maybe the agent puts out to the media. It's like to try and make Kirk look like the good guy here. It's like, he would have taken less. Baloney. At what point in Kirk Cousins' career, besides turning down $6 million more from the Jets in 2018, has Kirk Cousins ever taken less? Ever. So I'm not really buying that, hey, well, last offseason, Kirk would have signed for $30 million for 3 years. Smells like cap in here. No. But also the Vikings projected to have at least $100+ million in cap space for next year. Depending what happens with some of these free agent contracts, more than enough to get JJ on the books. And I understand why Jefferson's sort of holding out. Well, not holding out, but sort of taking his time before signing that extension. Oh, but JJ turned down $30 million. Yeah. Frankly, I would too, because JJ's market with the new cap, as well as Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb getting paid, is probably like 35, 36. Don't blame him. Not at all. And also, he wants to know who the quarterback is going to be. So making sure that the Vikings do come away with a premium guy in this year's draft. So there you go. Next. The anonymous Juan. Once again, we don't sign any offensive starter depth player day one. Who, if anyone, hey, Blake Brandle says hello. Do you think we'll bring and solidify the interior offensive line? So I actually don't mind the Vikings hanging back because have you seen some of the guard contracts? Like Robert Hunt getting $20 million a year. Kevin Dotson and Jonah Jackson getting $15-16 million a year. A little bit spicy for the Vikings right now. But as of right now, here's how things look. So Darisaw, Bradbury, Ingram, and O'Neal are all up in there. Then Quisenberry is back. Blake Brandle is back on a 3-year deal. We'll actually talk about Brandle here in a second. Dalton Reisner is out there chilling. Adenji, he signed somewhere else. Really doesn't matter. But in terms of free agent guys, so second, third wave guys, I think that there will be a lot of value. So Connor Williams is a badass, man, with the Dolphins, but before he had his injury. So I think that Williams may be discounted. I think that he's going to probably have to sign a 1-year prove-it deal somewhere, and that could be great for the Vikings because Williams was a fine guard with the Cowboys, and then he went to the Dolphins and played center, and he was at a Pro Bowl, All-Pro level. So getting him into the mix would be fantastic, as well as you could probably get him at a reasonable rate. You got veteran centers like Brian Allen, who was cut by the Rams, got some crossover with O'Connell and Phillips. He's hanging out there. Bradley Bozeman just got let go by the Panthers. Isaiah Wynn. I'm not ready to give up on Isaiah Wynn, man. I know that it didn't quite work out in New England or Miami, but the pride of Georgia, I love it. Hey, 6'2" tackles matter, man. Or he could probably play on the inside. Or they could just circle back to Reisner. And it does seem like Reisner wants to get something done. But again, Kwesi's negotiating tactics, just sort of waiting things out and just letting the market come to him as opposed to just jumping on it like you're in heat. Next up, TG. Are the media overhyped by the signings? For example, Kirk Cousins made the Falcons automatically Super Bowl contenders. Yes. But, I mean, it's what happens every free agency cycle, every March. Whoever signs the most free agents is automatically winning the Super Bowl. Usually never works out. But, again, the media spent 6 years poo-pooing on Cousins on the Vikings. All of a sudden, he's the missing piece with the Falcons. We'll see. We'll see. And then, Calvin Ridley. People don't realize that Calvin Ridley's almost 30. But getting $23 million a year from the Tennessee Titans. Also, Ridley was 18-1 to sign with Tennessee, by the way, because it looked like it was going to be Jacksonville or the Patriots. But, okay. But, I mean, that's what you do this time of year because hope springs eternal. And, actually, the media hasn't really hyped up the Viking signings. They're like, Grenard, he can't stay healthy. 1 year flash in the pan. Van Ginkel, whatever. Aaron Jones, sure. Blake Cashman, 1 good year. Whatever, please. Lastly, is Jake Morgan. Is Blake Brandle actually a starter now? So what's interesting about Brandle, so he's back on a 3-year deal, $9.5 million. Half of that is guaranteed. And I think that Brandle, they obviously like Brandle, Chris Cooper and company. So I think that the commitment is, it's high-end backup money, but you can see what the Vikings are doing here because Brandle can back up 4 spots, both guards and both tackle spots. Hell, you could probably play center too. Who knows? And they're hedging, which is what Kwesi is very good at doing, having contingency plans. That's why Sam Darnold is here, just in case things go wonky in the draft. So Blake Brandle, I mean, if Dalton Reisner is not back, if he signs somewhere else, or he doesn't want to come to terms with the Vikings, I mean, Brandle could be popped in at left guard. And, of course, it's hedging because you don't know how the rest of free agency is going to work out. You don't know how the draft is going to work out. So I think that's smart. That's smart. Where at minimum, Blake Brandle is a high-end backup, a versatile and valuable backup. But also, I mean, he could pop in as a starter if needed. So I think that, again, that's one of those under-the-radar, underappreciated moves that really help build up teams. So keeping Brandle does make sense. But that's it. That's Thursday Q&A. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull, production value.